I got a cheap HP laptop. I don't think there's a hard drive in it. Let's check it out. Hey guys, how's it going? Dale here. Today I got a really low-end HP laptop. Customer brought it in. She loaned it out to some kid and her family for a few weeks, got it back, and now it simply says when you turn it on, boot device not found. Stuck my ear down there. I hear no hard drive whatsoever, and I know it doesn't have a solid state drive in it. These low end, this is an Intel Celeron processor. It's pretty low end. The exact model of this unit is 15-F233WM. Just so you know, I'll have it on the screen there. So whatever the case, she wants to still use it. It's pretty clean. It's an older one, but she just wants it to work. So if the hard drive's bad or if it's just flat out gone, I'm gonna replace it with just a 2.5 inch. I was thinking about a Crucial MX500, but I decided I'm just gonna sell her an ADATA 256 gigabyte, 2.5 inch SSD. Pretty good drives, very, very inexpensive, but it'll be a lot better than putting another hard drive back in it. So I'm just gonna shut it off here, flip it over, and see where we're at. I already took this little cover off right here. There's two screws, and I removed all the other screws. I didn't want to bore you with that. So they're all the same length, so none of that matters. It has 4 gigabytes of DDR3L memory. Does not have an expansion slot, just the one single slot, so we're not gonna worry about that. But I want to get inside and see if there's a hard drive in it. I noticed though right away when I flipped it over the first time, there was 2 screws missing out of it. And they don't typically just come out unless somebody had been in there doing something. So, like I said, I got all the screws out, got them laid out right over here. This single screw right here, you have to remove to slide the optical drive out. Then this screw right here is marked with a little keyboard icon. You take that one out so you can pop the keyboard out, which I'm gonna do in a minute, but first I'm gonna eject the battery. I just wanna get inside and see if the hard drive indeed is gone. There's no screws here, so let me get this drive out of here. You can see it just kind of slides right out. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. Oh, and underneath the optical drive, there's 3 screws along here. Very tiny little flat head, pan head, 1, 2, 3. You're gonna need a very good quality tip, like a number 0 Phillips screwdriver is a good magnetic tip. So I'm gonna see if I can get these out. They're extremely short, like 2 turns and they come right out. Just wanna get it open and see what's going on, but she didn't have any important date on it when she loaned it out. Apparently, she just, like I said, gave it to some kid in her family and she got it back. No boot device found. Who knows, might have opened it up, figured out how to get it open, took the hard drive and used it in something else, but nonetheless, we don't like hard drives here anyway, so that's a good thing. Get one more hard drive off the planet. So now, oh, and when you take this little cover off for the RAM slot here, there's 3 hidden screws under here, 1, 2, 3, that we got to get out. Again, a number 0, or even a number 1 will work good for those. And again, they're the same length as all the other screws, so you don't need to separate your screws. So there, we got all the 3 screws out underneath here. Now we can see if we can pry this bad boy open. Gonna open it up here on the top side. I'm gonna get my little, now that I got that screw out holding the keyboard, I'm gonna have to pop out the keyboard because there's screws that go all the way down through here. Or, well, I gotta get the keyboard out and I'll show you. So carefully, I'm gonna take my very thin metal tool along the seam up here on the keyboard. Just kind of, once you get it started here, don't want to pull too hard. Just done enough of them to where I know how much I can flex it and how much I can't. So I pulled the keyboard up there. Now we just got to disconnect it from the motherboard right here. This little black bar will flip up. Carefully do it. Then you can pull the ribbon out. So usually if you just use a couple of your fingernails, you can get it flipped up without breaking it. And the ribbon comes right out, just like that. So under here, we're going to take out probably like 5 screws, 4. Got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, because they go all the way through and kind of hold it all sandwiched together. So let me get those out of the way. And those are a different length of the ones you take out of the bottom, so keep those separate from your outside screws, so to speak. But that hard drive's right over in this area right here, underneath all this. Just like I said, it's just an Intel Celeron, but with a solid state drive in, it'll still be a usable computer. I think anyway, so let me make sure I got all those out of there. I do. All right, I'm gonna take my little plastic triangle spudger tool here. Just gonna get it in the seam along the top here. Usually in a corner here is a good place to start. Usually. Gotta find a good edge of my spudger. Just kind of slide it on along. People ask me if they can use a credit card and stuff, but credit cards I don't think are going to be strong enough. It might. I wouldn't want to break my credit card shoving it in there, so I use a blue plastic triangle spudger tool. I'll stick a link down below where you can buy some of these online for really cheap, very inexpensive. But like I said, it's a very inexpensive, basically a Walmart computer. Let me get it started here. When you lift it up, you got, there's a little cable right here for the palm or the touchpad. We got to disconnect that. Just going to flip this little lever up here, white lever. And I believe we're going to have to, we got to disconnect this one back here for the power switch from the main board right here. Just flip the little white levers up. I know you can't really see it, guy, but just use a little pointy plastic tool. Don't put a screwdriver in there. Or just use your fingernail if you got one. They just generally pull right out. So now we can just probably lift this right up. A little bit of tugging, chugging. Now we got the palm rest off. So we'll stick that, hey! No hard drive. The caddy's still there. Interesting. You can see that over there, but the hard drive is just flat out gone. Somebody took our hard drive. Interesting. Okay, well, so we have really one option. We're going to put a new solid state drive in there, I guess. Do a fresh install of Windows 10, 20H2, and away we go. So I'll put this ADATA in there. These are very inexpensive, yet they perform pretty well for a 2.5-inch SATA drive. So we're just going to mount it in the caddy. You can either take out the screw for the I/O board or just disconnect it right here. I'm just going to flip up this lever right here and disconnect this cable, flip it out of our, no, actually, never mind. Got to take this little I/O board out. There's one little Phillips screw right here in the corner because the caddy is kind of in underneath of it, just slightly. So let me get that one screw out right in the corner there. It's real simple. Take my plastic tool. Oh, it comes right up. So we don't have to worry about that. No hard drive. Should take a picture. If you wanted a hard drive, honestly, I would have just put a hard drive in there for free. I got millions of them laying around. But anyway, let's see, it's going to mount in here just like this. I have to get 4 mounting screws. Get my little snowman box here. Bag of screws. Use my #1 Phillips. Just mount it in the caddy. As I line the holes up. I don't think I need a spacer in there. Come on, Dale. I hate when they don't line up just right. It's annoying. Hold on. Come on, Mr. Dale. These caddies basically suck. Sorry guys. I want to get one started here. And it should there line up the other ones. This is a typical caddy that I see in a lot of HPs. Why is that not lining up? And when you're doing projects like this guys, like I say in all my videos, make sure you're protected against static discharge. Make sure you're anti-static. Use a ESD wristband. You can get them for 10 bucks online. Use an anti-static mat or just a good anti-static environment when you're doing this, so you don't zap something in there and brick your board or brick your laptop. It can happen. 25 plus years, I've never had it happen. But we're all anti-static in here. Plus we treat our bench tops and our floors pretty regular basis with static side product you can buy and just mist on or spray on. So I'm gonna plug in the SATA cable to the drive. It pretty much only goes one way, guys. It only goes one ways. One ways. All right, so we're gonna get that in there. This isn't real rocket science. You just gotta be careful. Take your time. You can see how that sets down in there, and then that I/O board goes over those little rubber tabs there. So we're going to pop that bad boy in place. So this is an Intel Celeron. It's probably like a 30, was it N3060, N3070, 3060 I think. 4 gigs of DDR3, and now it's going to have a solid state drive. 256 gigabyte, plenty of room for Windows and lots of other stuff. So yeah, pretty basic in there, guys. Of course, it's got an optical drive. So we got the I/O little board back in here. It's all lined up good. We didn't come disconnected anywhere. Well, we'll just put the palm rest back on. Be careful of your little ribbon cables. Make sure they're accessible to hook back up, which they are. No hard drive. Boy, whoever took the hard drive, they should have just came in and said, hey, I need a hard drive. So here you go. Instead of going to all the trouble to take one out of here. I don't know, that's just what the customer told me. But I've had some doozies. I've had people bring in desktop computers that won't boot. I open them up and the hard drive's gone. Just flat out gone. So now we're going to put our screws back in here, holding the palm rest in place. Pretty straightforward. And our cables are right there where we can hook them back up. Hopefully. But yeah, use good quality tools so you don't struggle with your Phillips screws and things like that. Don't want to strip them out. All right, we're good there. Now I'm going to take my little plastic tool here to get these hooked back up. Got to be very careful. Always make sure they go in all the way, double check them. Usually right up to the little black line on the cable on these, and you should be good. And that one doesn't seem to be in there straight. Now it is. That looks better. All right. This one hooked back up. Well, all else fails, use my little second set of fingers here. Wiggle it, jiggle it, Dale. Jiggle it. Thinking about an old Seinfeld episode, sorry. Jiggle it, that's what Kramer would say. It's not going in all the way. Come on. Get in there. Doesn't snap down very hard, but it's an HP. Nothing wrong with HP, just this one. Alright, so we got those. Still don't look right in there. Picky, a little crooked. Perfect. Alright, before I button it up too tight though, I am going to hook the keyboard back up. That's real simple. Well, I shouldn't say simple, but you just got to slide it in from the opposite of the little black clip with the label facing down. And these sometimes slip right in the first time, and sometimes they don't. Hey, just like that. And then I use 2 fingers evenly, kind of one on each end, just in a little bit to push that black clip back down. Don't try to push it down in the middle because you'll end up breaking it. I'm just going to lay that in place there. Don't worry about that right now. Can put Mr. Battery back in. Goobers in there. Alright, gonna lock that in place. Alright, got the battery. Now I'm gonna take my USB flash drive. I created one of these. You can make these for free. Just download the Windows 10 Media Creation Tool from Microsoft. I'll have a link down below where you can go on my channel, and I got a video on how to make one of these. It's free. It's a bootable flash drive with Windows 10, everything you need to install Windows 10, whether it's Home or Pro. And yes, it will activate. This came with a digital license already. Whether it's 8 or 10, it will just activate. So I'm going to pop it in a USB port. And on an HP like this, to get to the boot menu, if you need, it's just F10. As soon as you turn it on, start tapping the F10. It'll probably default to that drive anyway, but I'm going to hit F10. Oh, it's F9, sorry. F10 gets you into the BIOS, which is fine. Yeah, Intel Celeron N3060, I was right. So we're going to exit, saving the changes, and I'm going to hit F9 this time. Like I said, I'll probably default to that as a boot device, but just in case, I'll hit F9. Change boot device order. And there's our Kingston flash drive. I'll just hit enter. And hopefully it sees our new SATA SSD we just put in there. Kind of hard to boot the computer with no boot device at all. And of course, there's no M.2 slots in these computers, in this grade of computer, so to speak. And we got a mouse. I'm going to choose United States. Hit install now. See if it detects our drive. Should. Basically, it's going to be a straight up clean install of Windows 10. Then I'll get in and connect to the internet. I'll get all the Windows updates. Pretty much all the drivers you'll need will come through Windows Update. If you want to go HP site, it's easy. Just go to their support, pop in the model number, the 15-F233WM. It'll bring the model up and show you any available downloads for Windows 10 OS. So I'll hit accept terms, hit next. I'm going to choose custom, and boom, there's our 256 gig SSD. I'll hit next, and I'm just going to let it go here and get the install started. When it's just about done, guys, I'll come back and kind of wrap it up. But I do a lot of these HPs. There's a lot of these exact configurations, you know, the way you take it apart with different things under the hood, so to speak, different processors, different hard drives, different memory. Sometimes you get 2 memory slots, but on these low-end Walmart grade computers, you don't get much, you get what you pay for. But a simple thing by putting an inexpensive solid-state SATA drive in it can make it a halfway decent usable computer for some light productivity and some internet and things like that. So I'll be back in just a few. All right, guys, I'm well into the Windows 10 install. It took probably about 10, 11 minutes to get to this point. It's not too bad considering it's just an Intel Celeron. If we're anything but a Celeron, the whole process of installing Windows Clean takes about 6-7 minutes. But anyway, at this point I always choose, I don't have internet. We don't need internet connection at the moment. Just want to get into Windows as quick as we can. That way, if you're connected to the internet when you do a Windows 10 install, Microsoft wants you to set up a Microsoft account and log in and all that kind of stuff with a password. You can do that easily later on through your settings in Windows. So I'm just going to put in user. Okay, no password. I got tons of videos on doing these clean installs, so you can check them out on my channel landing page. Pretty much I just leave location turned on in this part here just for privacy reasons more than anything. But again, you can change all this stuff later. Accept. Hey, look. Not now, Cortana. Sorry. I still like you. So.
Almost done now. We just need to get a few more things polished up for you, and Windows will be all yours. Looking forward to helping out.
And of course, you don't need your flash drive anymore. Once it reboots the first time, you can pull out your flash drive. While this is wrapping up here, I just want to take a second. All right, hold on, guys. All right, guys, sorry about the interruption. We got Windows all installed. Like I said, the whole process didn't take that long, probably about 10, 12 minutes overall. Did it run it on battery power too, by the way. So yeah, now we've got a clean install of Windows on this one. I'll get it all set up for my customer. Go and check into the system real quick here. I just wanted to, there's our 4 gigs of RAM, there's our Celeron. Ooh, dual core. And we'll just pop into File Explorer here real quick. So it's going to have a little bit of snap to it now with the solid state drive versus a 1 terabyte or a 500 gig hard drive, whatever they put in these. But with a hard drive and this processor and just the way it's built, they're really slow. So anyway, guys, I just want to take a minute and thank everybody for watching my videos and subscribing to my channel. I'm approaching my first 10,000 subs. I really appreciate it. I certainly couldn't have done it without all you people. I really, really appreciate it. I'm kind of humbled that I got this far this fast. I'm going to try to keep the videos and the content coming, but feel free to share the videos. Check out my landing page, look at my playlist. It's all good stuff, and I appreciate you watching. Have a great day.